All right, page number 7 in the book, Food and Health. Let's look at the picture. So these people are eating a meal. What meal do you think they're eating? Do you think it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner? What do you think? If you had to guess, what meal do you think this is? Is it breakfast, lunch, or dinner? It's hard to say. Maybe lunch or dinner. It looks like they're eating what we call Mediterranean food. Food that's eaten like in Italy, Greece, around the Mediterranean, because we have olives, we have a lot of vegetables, we have some meat and beans. So maybe this is lunch or dinner. Does it look healthy? What do you think? Is this a healthy meal? I think so. Mediterranean food is usually very healthy. It has lots of vegetables, olives, a little bit of meat and cheese. So it's known to be very healthy. A group of friends enjoy a traditional meal in Cappadocia, Turkey. Turkey is in the Mediterranean, so this is Mediterranean food. I thought it was Greece because it's very similar, but it's Turkey. All right, let's talk about healthy foods. Healthy and unhealthy food. Let's make a chart. Healthy food and unhealthy food. You can type in the chat box. So what about healthy food? What is healthy food? Things like vegetables. What else? You can type it here if you want. I know typing is a little hard sometimes. So vegetables are healthy. What else? Some fruit is healthy. What else can be healthy? Whole grains. Whole grains are like when we eat bread. White bread is not very healthy because it has a lot of sugar. But whole grain bread is like a wheat bread. So not as much sugar. Wheat bread. Wheat bread, things like white rice has a lot of sugar. So if you eat rice and it's all white, it has a lot of sugar, so it's not healthy. But if you mix like brown rice and other grains inside, it makes it healthier. So whole grains are healthier, like wheat bread, brown rice. Can meat be healthy? Yes. What we call lean meat. So meat with not a lot of fat. But meat is healthy, lean meat. So meat with not a lot of fat. What about unhealthy food? Oh, something I like a lot. Burgers and fries. Because they're fried with a lot of oil. So fried food tastes very good, but very unhealthy because a lot of oil. It has a lot of oil. Fried food, very sweet food like candy, cookies, cake, something with a lot of sugar. What else is unhealthy? It can be very salty food. Salty food and instant food. What is instant food? Food you don't cook, really. It's already made. So what we call pre-made. It's made before. So it's made before, so it usually has a lot of salt in it. Things like ramen is very unhealthy. It's delicious, but it's not good for our body because it has a lot of salt, and the noodles are already cooked. Coke, good. Like cola, Coke, Pepsi, anything with like a soda. Also has a lot of sugar in it. And it also has caffeine, like coffee, which can be very unhealthy. So we need to eat more of the healthy food and less of the unhealthy foods, right? So more and less. I wanted red. So most of your daily food should come from this healthy food and less of this unhealthy food, right? All right, let's go back to the book. Do you think foods people eat today are healthier than those in the past? What do you think, Ali? Do you think we eat healthier now or in the past? What do you think? I can't see that. You try a different color. Maybe green. So, do we eat healthier now or in the past? Do you think you eat healthier than your parents did? What do you think? No wrong answer. It's an opinion. We eat a bigger diet than our parents did, or our grandparents, more like it. We eat more food. We have more options. But is it healthier? People are growing stronger. We live longer. So we are healthier, but what about the food? What do you think? I think we eat more of these unhealthy foods, more than our grandparents did. We're healthier, but we eat more unhealthy foods. So we're going to look today at maybe what happens when we eat too much of this unhealthy food. All right, let's go to page 8. And on page 8, oh my God, it looks so delicious. Why do unhealthy foods have to look so delicious? It's a cupcake. So it's like, it has a lot of sugar, right? A cupcake. Do you like cupcakes? I do sometimes. It's a nice treat. So it's not surprising that cupcake contains a lot of sugar. How much sugar? A lot. But what about other foods? Yeah, I love cupcakes. I love sweets a little too much. So we know, we can look at this cupcake and know that has a lot of sugar. We know just by looking at it. And we know it's a cake, it's a sweet, so it has a lot of sugar. But what about other foods? Let's look at the bottom on the quiz. We have some food over here, and we have how many grams of sugar. So something with a lot of sugar would have 25 grams. That's, in one day, I think you're only supposed to have 90 grams of sugar for an adult. For a child, maybe lower. So in one day, you eat 1/3 of your amount of sugar. So that's 25 grams. That's a lot of sugar. So in one day, you're only supposed to have 90 grams of sugar. So we have food over here, and we're going to guess. How many grams do you think these foods have? We can check our answers later, but we can just guess now. I have the answers, but we can guess first. Maybe you can write A, B, C, D, E. The cupcake, 25 grams. Okay, you're probably right. But we'll check it. What about the yogurt? What do you think? How many grams of sugar? This is low-fat yogurt, too. What do you think? Maybe 7? Okay. 2 small chocolate cookies. No wrong answers. We're just guessing right now. We're going to look up the answers later. 11. Okay. 100 grams of tomato ketchup, which is probably like a packet of ketchup that you get at like McDonald's. So ketchup, 100 grams, maybe 15. What about 2 slices of wheat bread? Wheat is that whole grain bread. Maybe 3? Okay. All right, let's look up the answers. All right. 100 grams of low-fat yogurt. 11 grams of sugar. Wow. That's a lot of sugar. So number 1 is C. That's surprising, right? So yogurt has a lot of sugar in it. Because plain yogurt doesn't taste good. It's very bad. It doesn't have a taste. So they have to add a lot of sugar. Yeah. So actually yogurt has a lot of sugar. So it's like a dessert. Eat only a little bit. But it is good for calcium. Because we need to eat calcium, dairy products. But it does have a lot of sugar. Okay, 2 small chocolate cookies. Wow, this is surprising. Only 7 grams of sugar. So you can eat 2 small chocolate cookies, and it has less sugar than yogurt. That's pretty amazing. I didn't know that. All right, 100 grams of tomato ketchup. 15 grams of sugar. That's correct. That's surprising because we eat ketchup on, maybe eggs or French fries. We don't think about the ketchup having sugar. But actually, ketchup has a lot of sugar, 15 grams. That's surprising. Cupcake with frosting, we are correct, 25 grams. But we look at a cupcake and we think that has sugar in it. But I don't look at ketchup and think that has sugar in it. It's surprising. Excuse me. 2 slices of wheat bread, 3 grams. So very little sugar. So whole grains have very little sugar. So whole grains are healthier. Only 3 grams of sugar in the whole wheat bread. Some surprising information. Some stuff we already knew, like cupcake had the most sugar. Wheat bread had the least amount of sugar. But some others were kind of, I don't know, surprising, I think. All right, let's go to the reading on page 9. Sweet love. This chapter has a lot of very pretty food in it. We have a lollipop. We have a cupcake, very colorful. So sweets, they look pretty because they're very colorful and it makes us want to eat them. But we shouldn't eat too much because it has a lot of sugar. All right, let's go over the vocabulary words. They're in red, so let's go over them now before we read. Addiction. This is a noun. What is addiction? Addiction means to be addicted to something. It means some people, if they try like a drug and they can't get enough of it, like they can't stop themselves from using it or eating it, it's called an addiction. So we can be addicted to things like coffee. Coffee has caffeine. So we always think we need coffee every day. So we become addicted to it. That's an addiction. Some people, if they try like drugs are very addicting. They can be addicted to the drugs. So that's an addiction. We can have addictions to alcohol. It makes you want to drink more and more. That's an addiction. You can't stop yourself from using or eating or drinking the thing you're addicted to. So addiction. Drug. Drug can mean many different things. It can be like a medicine, or it can be something that you're addicted to. Like some illegal drugs people can be addicted to. Or a drug could mean like a medicine. Okay, recommend. Recommend, to recommend, this is a verb. It means to give advice. That somebody should do something or they shouldn't do something. You recommend. Cut down on. This means to do something less. So I should cut down on the amount of sweets I eat. I should cut down on the amount of coffee I drink. So cut down on, do less of something, not more. Okay, efficient. What is efficient? You can do something very well. Very skillful is a synonym, or just do something very well. Store. To store is a verb. Means to keep something for later. So we can store things in our refrigerator and we keep it for later. So to store. Obvious. Something that's easy to notice or easy to see or easy to know. It's called obvious. Advertise. To advertise is a verb. When you watch TV, you have a lot of advertisements. So they're trying to sell you things. Sell you things. Advertisements. So buy this product because it will make you healthy or beautiful, or it'll make you lose weight or whatever. So to advertise something, you want people to buy it. So you make advertisements. Facilities. A facility is a place you can go to get like a job done or to do special things. Like you see, a school is a facility where you can learn. A gym is a facility where you can exercise. So like a building or a place where you can do special tasks. That's a facility. Battle. To battle means to fight with something or you oppose. So to fight or oppose. You have a battle because one person has to win or one group has to win. So to fight or oppose. All right. Now do you have any questions about the vocabulary so far? We're going to listen to the story, Sweet Love, and then we're going to read it. I know there's only one student right now, so maybe you can choose a paragraph, and then I'll read the rest. It's okay. So first we're just going to listen. This is page number 9, called Sweet Love.
Track 1, Reading Explorer-2, 3rd edition, copyright 2020, Cengage Learning Incorporated, all rights reserved. Reading 1A, Sweet Love. Many scientists believe our love of sugar may actually be an addiction. When we eat or drink sugary foods, the sugar enters our blood and affects the parts of our brain that make us feel good. Then the good feeling goes away, leaving us wanting more. All tasty foods do this, but sugar has a particularly strong effect. In this way, it is in fact an addictive drug, one that doctors recommend we all cut down on. It seems like every time I study an illness and trace a path to the first cause, I find my way back to sugar, says scientist Richard Johnson. 1/3 of adults worldwide have high blood pressure, and up to 347 million have diabetes. Why? Sugar, we believe, is one of the culprits, if not the major culprit, says Johnson. Our bodies are designed to survive on very little sugar. Early humans often had very little food, so our bodies learned to be very efficient in storing sugar as fat. In this way, we had energy stored for when there was no food. But today, most people have more than enough. So the very thing that once saved us may now be killing us. So what is the solution? It's obvious that we need to eat less sugar. The trouble is, in today's world, it's extremely difficult to avoid. From breakfast cereals to after-dinner desserts, our foods are increasingly filled with it. Some manufacturers even use sugar to replace taste in foods that are advertised as low in fat. So while the foods appear to be healthier, large amounts of sugar are often added. But some people are fighting back against sugar and trying to create a healthier environment. Many schools are replacing sugary desserts with healthier options, like fruit. Other schools are trying to encourage exercise by building facilities like walking tracks, so students and others in the community can exercise. The battle has not yet been lost.
Okay, so we're eating more sugar than we should, right? In our everyday lives. Sugar is everywhere. And more foods than it used to be. So let's read. Which paragraph would you like to read, Ollie? A, B, C, D, or E? I'll read the rest. I know it's a lot for you to read. Which paragraph? A, B, C, D, or E? Which one do you want to read? D? Okay. So you can read C. I'll read the rest. Hopefully the students will come back next week. There's supposed to be a few students in this class. I don't know why they're not here today. All right. Sweet Love. Many scientists believe our love of sugar may actually be an addiction. When we eat or drink sugary foods, the sugar enters our blood and affects the parts of our brain that makes us feel good. The good feeling goes away, leaving us wanting more. All tasty foods do this, but sugar has a particularly strong effect. In this way, it is in fact an addictive drug, one that doctors recommend we all cut down on. It seems like every time I study an illness and trace a path to the first cause, I find my way back to sugar, says scientist Richard Johnson. 1/3 of adults worldwide have high blood pressure, and up to 347 million have diabetes. Why? Sugar, we believe, is one of the culprits, if not the major culprit, says Johnson. Okay, Allie, you can read C. I'm going to turn your microphone on.
Our bodies are designed to survive on very little sugar. Early humans often had very little food, so our bodies learned to be very efficient in strong sugar as fat. In this way, we had energy stored for when there was no food. But today, most people have more than enough. So the very thing that once saved us is now maybe killing us.
All right, good job, Allie. So what's the solution? It's obvious that we need to eat less sugar. The trouble is, in today's world, it's extremely difficult to avoid. From breakfast cereals to after-dinner desserts, our foods are increasingly filled with it. Some manufacturers even use sugar to replace taste in foods that are advertised as low in fat. So while the foods appear to be healthier, large amounts of sugar are often added. But some people are fighting back against sugar and trying to create a healthier environment. Many schools are replacing sugary desserts with healthier options like fruit. Other schools are trying to encourage exercise by building facilities like walking tracks so students and others in the community can exercise. This battle has not yet been lost. So we need to fight and stop this battle against sugar. Sugar is delicious. If you put sugar in food, it makes it more delicious, but we have to remember it's not healthy, and we need to cut down on how much sugar we eat. All right, let's look at the words here. Blood pressure, high blood pressure. So this is one of the illnesses you can get from eating too much sugar. So if you have high blood pressure, your heart needs to work harder to pump blood around your body. So it's bad for your heart to have high blood pressure. Diabetes. Diabetes is an illness you can get from eating too much sugar. It's a disease that can be very bad for your body. You can die. It's a very serious disease. So diabetes is a medical condition in which someone has too much sugar in his or her blood. So you eat too much sugar, you have too much sugar in your blood. Or maybe you were born with diabetes. So it's a very serious illness, diabetes, and high blood pressure. All right. Let's go to page 10. Reading